I've been playing Donkey Kong Bananza now for like 2 straight days. I can't put it down. So is this like game of the year for Nintendo? Let's get into my first impressions of playing Donkey Kong Bananza. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I was excited because I just finished Cyberpunk 2077, gave myself a day off of playing any games. I said, I know the physical copy of Donkey Kong is arriving and I wanted to dive in. It's been 10 years since we got a really brand new Donkey Kong game. And back when I used to work at the video game store many, many moons ago, we would play Donkey Kong Country in the in-house game system that had the monitors all throughout the store, and we would play it non-stop. We absolutely loved Donkey Kong Country. So to have a new Donkey Kong game, I was a little trepidatious. Now that we're moving into this like 3D environment, Mario Odyssey style, how would it look? We're getting rid of sort of the side-scrolling, style that we had come to know for so many years. And is it going to sort of reimagine this gameplay experience? And absolutely, it has. So let's get into what I've been experiencing with this game over the past couple of days and played many, many hours of this game. Again, this is not a full review. This is really just my first impressions of the game. And let me just say right out of the gate, this game is weird. Like weird in a good way. Like think about back in 1990s Nintendo where they would take some odd risks, just some odd humor, some weird dark vibes to a game. I'm thinking, Super Mario RPG, right? It's on the Nintendo label. That game is definitely weird, definitely has some dark humor, dark vibes. So that's where this game comes in for me. It's got a really interesting soundtrack that has a really kind of dark vibes, especially when you're in the underworld caves. But it also has just weird. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but I mean, you're literally making friends with like a talking rock at one point who helps you learn how to sing or use music to unlock certain elements of the game. Like I did not picture at all Donkey Kong and music. Like why we're using music to unlock certain things in the game? Like where Donkey Kong is kind of like whistling and singing? Like, okay, but I'm there for it. Like I have to say this, like in a sea of sameness, right? In a sea of sameness these days with video games or just sort of rehashed ports, rehashed sequels that come out where we don't get much difference to any of these games. Like, I'm excited that Nintendo's taking some risks here and doing something kind of wacky and off the wall. So let me just get that out of the way right away. This game is a little weird and I am there for it. And I have to say, my daughter loved it. I was sitting there playing on the couch this morning over a cup of coffee and she just jumped in. She's like, what is this? Can I play? And she became obsessed with it, being able to smash the environments. So let's talk about the mechanics because I think this is one of the big selling points of the game. And when I saw the original footage of this game back a couple of months ago in Nintendo's Direct, I thought, is that all we're going to be doing? We're just going to be smashing things? That's it? We're just going to be smashing things, looking for bananas and coins? Okay. But it's so much more than that. And I have to think about Nintendo's level design here, where you think about like Mario Odyssey or you think about other levels in some 3D platforming games. Think about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Those levels are very focused, right? You know what you're doing, you know where you screwed up, and you know how to navigate it if you die and you're gonna go back and figure it out. Very, very focused. So how do you pull off destroying everything, but also keeping it focused? And they managed to pull this off. I don't know how they did it, but Nintendo managed to pull this off. So it's not just about smashing through and this deformation engine that they've built here where you're deforming and smashing through the ground, smashing sideways, jumping up and smashing, climbing and smashing, but you're also doing other things. You're able to jump up and smash down through the ground, sort of ground pound style, almost like you're a missile going through the ground. You're also able to, interestingly, pick up large items and swing them back and forth. For instance, when you have to go through areas where you have to smash through thorns and things like that, being able to pick up large pieces of rock. And it's interesting, certain pieces of rock have different characteristics. Harder pieces of stone will allow you to do more. You can pick up different items that will explode upon impact, like sort of lava stones. So you can pick those up and throw them using a reticle, almost like you're aiming at different enemies, which almost makes it like a shooter, sort of a first-person shooter style game, where you're, well, not first-person shooter, but you know what I mean. You're able to pick up and sort of aim at enemies flying around and throw a lava rock at them. You're able to ground pound with 2 hands and unlock different parts of the game. So it's not just smashing, which was a relief for me, because I thought right out of the gate when I'm in that first tutorial area, oh boy, it's just going to be a lot of smashing. And I was like, can this really sustain it for a 25-hour video game, which is about how long I think this game takes to beat if you're not doing completionist stuff, if you're just kind of mainlining the story and not trying to get all of the different items in the game. So let's talk about the music and sound design in this game. This soundtrack is fantastic. Really next level stuff here, from the moody environments underground. Let's just listen to that. To the more whimsical outer world, where you're getting that. To me, the soundtracks in the original Donkey Kong games are like next level. They're so iconic, right? They just have that fun sort of carnival vibe to it, in a way that other Nintendo games don't. This really has a unique sound to it, and a lot of that is back. A lot of that whimsy is back from the original Donkey Kong soundtrack here again, especially when you're in the outer world going through some of the outside environments. I will be honest, I had a lot of Astrobot vibes here, and where you have sort of a tightly controlled environment with Astrobot, very tight gameplay, fantastic mechanics in that game, all sorts of unlockable, interesting things that you can do. I definitely had some of those vibes. Is it as tight as Astrobot? Game of the year? I don't know. And again, I'm only a few hours into the game, so I'll let you know sort of my Astrobot comparisons later, but I definitely had that feeling and vibe where I could explore, smash through things, try to navigate these worlds. But Astrobot has clear paths. You know, you're not going to get away with being tricky or trying to smash through things in order to advance. And where Donkey Kong, I think, stands out in many ways, it's kind of like Tears of the Kingdom, where in Tears of the Kingdom, trying to solve certain shrines, there could be many, many ways where you're using Ultra Hand and putting things together in a unique and different way. So many people were solving different shrines and different puzzles in Tears of the Kingdom just because of the way that they came up with their different designs. And I think there's a lot of that here as well in Donkey Kong, which enables you to navigate through these worlds, smash down into the ground, move it a certain way, come up, and you find yourself further along in that puzzle or that level. Maybe another person is just going to climb straight up a wall and do it totally differently. So I think there's a level of, hey, I'm going to do it my way in this game that you certainly don't get with other 3D platformers. You certainly don't get with like Mario Odyssey. Like, how am I going to solve this level? I've got to do it a certain way that Nintendo set out for me. With Donkey Kong Bonanza, you can kind of do it your way. BK, have it your way. DK, have it your way. That's kind of how I feel about this game. So all in all right now, I know Metacritic scores, a lot of reviews have come in really pushing this thing over a 90 and saying this could be Nintendo's Game of the Year. This could be a Game of the Year contender. And I have to say, in the first few hours of my gameplay, I have to say I agree with them. A lot of what we saw that we loved about Astrobot is here. Also, though, the ability to kind of go off the rails a little bit and explore and do it your way is really unique. I have to be honest with you, and pretty compelling, and it's pretty amazing what Nintendo's been able to do here with these environments, setting up sort of steel box structures, you know, almost like scaffolding, so that you're able to sort of smash through most of the area, but then within that environment are sort of some steel walls that you know that's your limit, like that's where you've reached your ability to smash and do different things. But the fact that I'm loving it, the fact that my 8-year-old daughter picked it up and couldn't put it down this morning, and she was loving it, and we were able to sit together on the couch having some coffee. She was not drinking coffee. I made her some waffles, and we were able to sit and play this game together. You know, good, a great family game, really fun. And I love what they're doing here. After 10 years of waiting for Donkey Kong, we get this 3D environment for Donkey Kong, and I'm curious to see you know, how this goes further. I will say I was a little disappointed that launching the game, immediately we get a day one patch. As soon as I put the cartridge in, I'm here like, here's this game on a cartridge, and we get a day one patch right out of the gate. Come on. I mean, I get it. We had that with Tears of the Kingdom, of course, but We didn't have that with like Metroid Prime Remastered, and so that's what I love about Nintendo's full games on a cartridge is that game preservation. We get this game in perpetuity, and right out of the gate we get a day one patch for this. But anyway, that aside, I think it's a fantastic game. I can't wait to play it some more this weekend. Really try to finish this game maybe by next week if I can, because I'm just having a blast. So that's all I got to say about that. It sucked me in. I'm having a blast exploring, solving puzzles, being able to play with my kids. That's all you can ask for a great summer video game. So what do you guys think? Are you guys going to pick up Donkey Kong Bananza on the Switch too? Are you already playing it? What are your thoughts? Drop me a comment down below. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next time.